Boom! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a local brewery of mine. They're down in Tinley Park, Illinois, and I've had a few of their beers already, and I've been really stoked to try more stuff from them because I enjoy their branding, And their beers have been pretty damn solid. So we got another one here from Soundgrowler Brewing Company called the Bending Blades Double IPA. It's a double West Coast IPA coming in at an 8% ABV. And it is brewed with, there it is, it's West Coast style double IPA brewed with massive amounts of Citra and Eldorado hops for citrus bouquet. Simcoe and Cascade Cryo give this beer sinuous and dank characteristics. So, yeah, West Coast IPAs are known for having more of those danker kind of qualities to them, along with still bringing out some nice citrusy aromas and all the stuff like that. So, I'm pretty stoked to give this one a try. You guys know by now that most likely my go-to style of IPA is always an East Coast, New England style IPA, but I definitely do enjoy a nice West Coast IPA from time to time. So, I'm definitely pretty excited for this one. Plus, the can art on this one is pretty damn fantastic. I love it. I love the colors. I love the holographic kind of notes to it. So, let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose with this guy, because I am excited. Let's see what we got here. Definitely getting citrus on the nose. A little bit of a grassiness. To me, a lot of the times whenever I get citrus on the nose from a West Coast IPA, it definitely has some almost like a grassy kind of note to it as well. So it's I think of lemongrass first of all to be something that brings up some of those kind of aromas and citrusy notes that I get from a West Coast kind of style. It's not more of just a pure citrus juice kind of situation, but more of just drier citrusy aromas almost. Definitely having the nice citrus in there. Not really getting any of those dank qualities to it on the nose, but I'm assuming that's what we're going to get when we drink it and get it on the palate. So when it comes to color, I'm thinking this one's going to be more of a kind of that almost golden kind of amber color to it. I'm not sure if this is going to be hazy in any way, but I think we have to find out now. So I'll be drinking this out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon. So let's pour this guy. Let's try to get a little bit of a head on there too so we can get some good aromas. Definitely has that nice golden color through it. A little bit murky. Not really considered this a hazy, but definitely has some murkiness to it. Got a little bit of a head going there, but that's fine. But yeah, it has a really nice color. Okay, so it's a little murky, but overall has a pretty nice, almost slightly hazy color to it. But yeah, this one still getting mostly just citrus on the nose right now. Not really getting any of those dank qualities, not much. But yeah, it smells pretty solid. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Definitely very, very bright, very refreshing. Not really leaving as much of a drier mouthfeel as I would expect from a nice West Coast IPA. Just get that slight dryness at the end once you kind of it's actually more of a juicier kind of citrus note that I'm getting through. Definitely light, crisp, refreshing. Not really thinking that there's any kind of situation where they had maybe flaked wheat or flaked oat in this because the mouthfeel just doesn't seem right with it. But overall, the citrusy notes on this are pretty damn delicious. I'm definitely enjoying this one. It's bright, it's vibrant. Definitely getting the citrusy notes, but definitely not really getting much of a maltiness to it as well. So it's not really like a malty citrusy, which sometimes you get a little bit more of those heavier malty notes that come through on a West Coast IPA. But overall flavors in this one are pretty damn nice. I'm thoroughly impressed with this being something that I've almost put in the realm of something that I consider sessionable, even though it's an 8%, and you guys know by now that 7.5% is where I kind of cut off of my sessionability, but this tastes like it goes down way too damn easy. I have a feeling it's going to do exactly that because this is pretty damn delicious. So let's look over here at Untappd. Of course, I already read off the description right off the can, but the description on this beer through Untappd, it says West Coast style double IPA. But let's look here and see if we can find some similar beers to this one. So we got a couple different Illinois breweries showing up on the similar beers list, which is pretty cool. Beers that I haven't reviewed, plus haven't really talked about before, so this is nice. So we got one here from Shorts Brewing Company called the Humalupa Licious. So I'm guessing they use lupulins in this one. Of course, that kind of gives you the more of those dankier kind of qualities as well. 7.7%. So this one has a more of a predominant bitterness to it. Of course, they like to call it a Midwest IPA, which us in the Midwest are trying to find our own kind of style of IPA. Of course, it's when we tried doing ours over at Fibs, we kind of did a mash hop IPA, kind of living more of those kind of drier, kind of situations. Definitely a little bit more of an herbal kind of hoppiness to it. But this one, maybe I can definitely see something being similar. To me, I think this one may only miss the mark when it comes to bitterness, because this one really isn't that bitter to me. But this one, the Humalupa Licious from Shorts, having that 70 IBU, is probably going to have more of a predominant bitterness to it. So, I mean, it's probably close, but I don't know if I put this one to being something similar. We got one here from More Brewing Company called the Basilica. Is that Basilica, I think it's called? Yeah, it's a West Coast double IPA with Citra, Simcoe, CDZ, and Chinook hops. 8%, right on that kind of realm. I could definitely see this one being similar from More Brewing Company. Let's see. We got one from Penrose Brewing Company, which is another one. I think they're in Geneva, Illinois, called the Fantasy West, which is an 8.5. They actually collaborated with More on this one. That's pretty cool. So, what is this one? So, this is an American IPA, of course. Definitely another one where they use cryo in this one. They actually use Phantasm powder in this one, too. Them bastards. I've been wanting to make a beer with Phantasm powder in it ever since I've known that ingredient exists, because it brings off really, really great fruitiness. Brings off notes of like Sauvignon Blanc grapes. And it just does really well with IPAs in general. It adds juiciness, and it's just overall a really, really cool ingredient to use in making beer. So I could see this one being similar, but this, I want to see, let's see here, definitely notes of cryo in there. So maybe this one as well. Let's see, we got one here called the Viaduct from Hop Butcher for the World, which is an 8.25 double New England hazy. Wouldn't consider that one similar due to this one not being a New England kind of style IPA. And the last one we got here is from Phase 3 Brewing Company, which the owner of Phase 3 Brewing Company is actually a former brewer over at More Brewing Company. He was a brewer over there for can't tell you how many years, and then he decided to open up his own location, his own brewery called Phase 3. So this one is another double New England hazy, of course, using Citra in there, but this one's definitely going to be more of the brighter citrusy notes. So I'm kind of torn between either it being similar to the top three, either the Luma Lupa, possibly that's going to be, like I said, it's going to be close, that one being similar due to that one having more of a predominant bitterness. So I'm maybe kind of sticking to these two between the Fantasy West and the Basilica from More Brewing Company. And the funny thing is, More was involved in both of these. So I'm most likely leaning towards more of the Basilica from More Brewing Company, to be honest. 8%, exact same ABV, so you're not really going to get any difference of a booziness. Using a lot of the similar hops when it comes to what this one's with Citra and Simcoe. And most likely they added some cryo stuff, possibly during the dry hopping and all that stuff like that. But, so that's something, the Basilica probably what I'd consider something most similar when it comes to local stuff. Let's see what we can find here that's something more of an out-of-state kind of situation, to where we can find something that's not usually, the brewery's not in my state. Let's just do it that way. So let's look here, my beer history. We're going to look under the category of IPA Imperial Double. Let's see here, beer history, sort and filter, IPA Imperial Double, and then let's see what we got here. Definitely this is a more common style of IPA. Of course, you got breweries like Block 15 who make plenty of IPAs that are in this category. Drecker I've seen make some stuff like this. Equilibrium. Let's see what else here. Trademark Brewing Company will probably make something kind of similar like this. I know Anchorage has done some stuff that's similar to this. We got another Shorts beer that's definitely has a more predominant bitterness with that one. Not really going to put the Metal Monkey Tony's Card in the same category as this one. Let's see. Maybe the Quagmire from Beguile, I think, might be pretty close. Maybe the Voodoo Ranger Future Hop, if I remember correctly. That one, I don't know if that one used cryo or not, but that one used the blend of Lotus and Strata. So I don't know if I do that one. We got the Pow Days from Parkersburg. I know Burial of Beer Co. makes some stuff like this. They had their Gang of Blades that they did. Let's see here. So yeah, there's definitely a bunch of breweries that are making similar styles of beer like this. So of course I named off some local ones. So if you're in Illinois, you might be able to find some beers over at More, or possibly Penrose. If you go over there, they have some pretty cool stuff over there. I know they experiment a lot with barrel aging sours. So if you want to try some like more of on something on the sour category. Penrose is a really good availability when it comes to stuff like that. But overall, I'm most likely going to have to choose probably the Basilica from Moore Brewing Company to be the most similar. It has almost pretty close to the exact hops, of course. The only thing reason why I'm not using the Fantasy West is probably the addition of the Phantasm powder. That's going to change flavor pretty significantly. But looking back here at the Bending Blades, of course, let's see what we can start looking at for ratings here. But before we do that, let's see what the average rating for this one is. So like I stated before, it's an 8% ABV, which you guys know by now. I would not consider this beer sessionable. Just even though it tastes like it is, it's something that most likely you're going to drink this. It's going to go down really, really easy. But then it's going to be to the point where like you're going to feel this after you're probably 3/4 of the way through the glass. I know probably I will, but let's see here. And only 128 ratings on this guy. So this one looked like it may be a smaller release from Soundgrowler. I don't think it's on tap over there right now. So hopefully they come back and do another release of it. But this one has an average rating of 3.79 out of 5, which is not bad. To me, I'm honestly going to rate it higher than something like that. I'm surprised people gave it that kind of lower end average. But let's see if there's anybody in my friends list who checked this one in. And surprisingly not. I wonder, because my dad's the one that stopped over at Soundgrowler and got these, so I'm wondering if he just forgot to check it in. Most likely, that's what he did. But let's look here at the global ratings and see what other people say about this one. So I'm looking at some check-ins over here that happened at the end of January, like the last few days of January, that are showing up as purchase locations. So maybe this stuff may still be available to purchase at some of these locations. We got some here checked it in, purchased at the Bitter Pops, which is located in Chicago. It's like a beer store, cocktail bar, coffee shop kind of situation, like all around kind of just gastropubby kind of stuff like that. But the Bitter Pops may still have this available. What else we got here? This guy gave it a 4 out of 5, purchased at the Open Bottle in Lockport. I know I've heard good things about the Open Bottle being like a nice kind of beer store / beer bar. So this one may still be available over there. I know they have a few locations too. I know they have the Lockport location, plus some other different locations. I forgot what was the other one I saw. But he gave it a 4 out of 5. Let's see. This guy gave it a 3.75, purchased at the Beer Cellar in Glen Ellen, Illinois. Nice little liquor store there. But what he put was malt, citrus, dried fruit, touch of pine nose. Flavor follows emphasis on dried out, rindy bitterness. Interesting. Not really getting much of a rind kind of bitterness to it. Definitely not like, I don't know where he's getting much of the maltiness. I'm definitely getting the citrusiness, dried fruit. I don't know about that. Definitely a touch of pine. I would definitely agree with that. A little bit pine on the nose when it comes to, but mostly to me, it's just mostly citrus. What else do we got here? We got a 4 out of 5 check-in. This person gave it a 4 out of 5. I purchased at the Beer Cellar in Glen Ellen, just saying old school delicious. Definitely agree. This is definitely something I would consider more of like an old school kind of style of your West Coast IPA. Let's see, we got another 3.75 here. We got a 4. Another one purchased at the Beer Cellar in Glen Ellen. 3.75. This guy gave it a 3.75. Purchased at the Biddy's Beverage Depot over in Oak Brook, Illinois. What he said about this one was solid, clear IPA with notes of resin, citrus, and some dankness. We'll have these guys on my radar going forward. Definitely agree. This one has a little bit of the dankiness coming through on the palate, a little bit of dryness, still nice citrusiness to it, a little bit of those resiny notes kind of incorporating with that dankness to it. But let's see, let's do 2 more after this. So this guy gave it a 4 out of 5, saying old school orange marmalade bitterness. Interesting. I don't really know if I'd consider that orange marmalade kind of notes, but hey, if he likes it, that's still a good thing. The last one we're going to look at here is a 4.25 out of 5. So overall, pretty good check-ins when it comes to average. I saw a lot of 3.75s, but there were still some pretty decent like 4s and 4.25s out there. So with all that being said, some pretty good solid ratings with this one for sure. But let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here and RN with this guy. Let me see if I can pour the rest of this in the glass. If there's any left. Nope, there is not. And of course, the first thing we like to look at over here is can art. And I've always been really, really impressed with the stuff I've gotten from Soundgrowler when it comes to the can art, because it's simple, but it kind of still leans in the direction of what I like to see for can art, what kind of appeals to me the most. So you got the skull with the knife, kind of going through them. I love the kind of like bluish pink holographic kind of notes in it. I think that's really cool. Like you can see on the bottom the pink, and then if you like turn it, you could see like the blue kind of hollow kind of notes to it, which I think is just a really cool kind of detail to it. And adding little accents to it to kind of make it to where you're taking up a lot of real estate. The only kind of spot, like I noticed before, there's only 2 spots on this label that are kind of blank. You got right there, and then you got right there. So overall, they took up a good amount, 95% of the real estate they had. Even on this side, they just had a little lightning bolt on the side just for the hell of it, which I appreciate. Just kind of filling in space, having some filler stuff in there. But all the detail when it comes to how detailed the skull is with the blade going through it. He has a crown, having those kind of blue and pink accents to it with the holographic notes. I love their kind of font with their labeling and all that kind of stuff like that. So overall, there's really nothing much that I can gripe about when it comes to this label. It's something that's appealing to me. It's something that would definitely catch my attention if I saw it at a liquor store or bottle shop. So I would definitely give this a solid 4.5 out of 5 for can art for me. Really, really nice. Probably give it close to like that 4.75. So it's like that between that 4.5 and 4.75 realm for what out of 5 for what I like with can art. So really, really nice job over there. But let's see. If I got this beer in a flight over at Soundgrowler, would I get another one? To be honest, I probably would. I'm definitely really, really enjoying this one. This is probably one of the better West Coast IPAs I've had in a while. So take that for what it is. It's really delicious. Definitely loving those bright citrus. You know, it's a little bit of resininess kind of to it, dankness, whatever kind of qualities you want to consider that. But overall, really, really delicious. Definitely, like I said, probably one of the better West Coast IPAs I've had in a minute. So well done with the team over at Soundgrowler. They're making some cool stuff over there. I would definitely get this by itself if I got in a flight. I'd probably get a 4-pack of this to bring home, most likely too, because I'm really, really enjoying it. So, with all that being said, what is my final rating on this guy going to be? That's where it really kind of counts. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm probably going to give this a very, very solid I'm probably leaning more towards 8 out of 10, but it's like if it's right in that middle mark between like 8 and 8.25. Really, really delicious. Definitely would recommend it once Soundgrowler comes out with this one again, or if you can find some at liquor stores or a bottle shop within the Chicagoland area. I would definitely recommend pick this one up if you're a fan of West Coast IPAs. It's absolutely delicious. So again, big shout outs to Soundgrowler for coming out with another very, very solid, delicious IPA. I think I've only had IPAs from them so far. I would definitely look to try some of their other styles and see what they're all about with that way. But yeah, really, really good job with Soundgrowler on this one. So yeah, I'm going to lean towards more of the 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 I think is a good kind of point for this beer. So if you want to give this one a try, like I said, it's not on tap over at the brewery right now, but there were still some purchase locations towards the end of January, which was only a few days ago, at liquor stores and bottle shops. So you may still be able to find this one in the Chicagoland area. So if you got the opportunity to get this one, check out those ones I listed earlier, and you may be able to find it over there still. They may have like a 4-pack or 2 left. You never know. But other than that, I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live to another review. Got a review plan for you guys tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I didn't have any reviews coming this week just because it was a busy week with work and I had some other stuff at home going on. But I don't think I'll have a review coming up towards the beginning of the week, but I'll definitely have one for tomorrow for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. But of course, you can always shoot me a follow on all my social media platforms to see what's going to be going on when it comes to reviews, just because they'll be the first place to do. Of course, my Instagram will be the first place you will see what is being reviewed and all that kind of stuff like that. Plus, you'll see some behind-the-scenes stuff when it comes to fibs every once in a while. So if you want to shoot me a follow over there, that'd be greatly appreciated. But then, of course, you could shoot me a friend request over at Untapped as well. You guys hear me talk about Untapped all the time. I think it's a fantastic platform that they've created for craft beer fans all over. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers because that's pretty much what it is. You check in beers, you get badges, you do all kinds of stuff. It's really, really fun. And then, of course, I have my Patreon. You guys hear me talk about my Patreon. That'd be the best way to help support me and help me do what I do over here. Getting more beers in my hands, plus helps me get more beer out to you guys as well. So if you want to shoot me a follow over there, or get yourself over to the Patreon. That'd be greatly appreciated. It helped me get more beer. And plus, I do monthly 4-pack giveaways over there as well. So if you had the opportunity to win some beer for me, that is a way to do so, because I believe everybody over on the Patreon has at least once. So you could have the opportunity to win some Illinois exclusive craft beer for me. But other than that, yeah, I think that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody again for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Dean, for coming in, even though it was a little bit later. That's fine. We got you can watch the replay if you want. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Hell yeah, man. Post on. Let me see what you got. Send me some pictures of what you got. I'm curious. But other than that, yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So again, thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody who's going to be watching on the replay as well. You guys are fantastic. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.